Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you how I bypassed the heater core. This car had an issue with heat coming into the car, especially on the bottom of it, near your knee, I guess you could say, and it was very hot. The air condition wasn't getting as cold as it should, and hopefully this is the only problem. Of course, it's definitely one of the problems because there was a lot of heat blowing out from there, and it was also blowing out to the back vents and to the bottom vents where your feet would be in the back of the car, because there's vents under the seat. And I just had this whole dashboard apart, and I tested every actuator. I even did the test where you hold the two buttons, and it passed the test. I don't get any lights on the dashboard saying anything about air condition or any kind of problems like that. I don't know if they would even come on there. But anyway, I just want to show you how I bypassed this. Now, I didn't start the car yet, but I'm assuming it'll work because, you know, it's just all I did was eliminate the antifreeze from going into one side of the heater core and then coming out the other. So let me give you a close-up shot. So this is the front of the engine here, and this is back by the firewall here. So after you take off the cover, the black cover that's here, then you'll take off the wiper motor, and then you'll be able to get to this. It's kind of easy. You do need that special tool to take off these special clamps. They're a little bigger than this. I didn't have it, and it's at night right now, so I made some. I cut two sockets, and I put a bolt through them, and all I had to do was put the socket one on one side and then the other. If I would have made the socket big enough, it would have wrapped around here, but I just put it on the edge, and then I cranked it down with just a socket and an extension. I didn't even, use the ratchet. I guess I could show that to you if I could find it. Here it is. Okay, there. The ring is actually still on here. One of them, I didn't bother taking it off. But that's all you have to do. One side is bigger than the other. This is the bigger side because on the ring, one side is bigger than the other. But if you make it too big, it gets sloppy and you might have a hard time getting it in. So anyway, that's basically it. You screw down one side, usually the other one doesn't turn. But if it does, all you have to do is just mess up the threads, crush them, and then make this bolt go back into the crushed thread so it's tight. This is a lock nut, I think. This is the one with the plastic inside. That's the one that stays steady. This is the one you turn. Now you don't want to make this bolt too big because you see what happens here. Of course, I used a long socket, so it was able to clear this bolt. It didn't hit it. If you use a small socket, of course you'll sort of like bottom out, I guess you could say. But this works perfect. As long as that clamp isn't sideways. If it is sideways, and you could fit this bolt in there from here to here, then yes, you could still do it. Because what you'll do is you'll put this down like this, and then you could take a wrench and go like this, and instead of a socket. Okay. Alright, so getting back to this hose. So right below those two metal pipes, which are the Freon lines, are the two pipes. I'm sorry, I always call them pipes. Hoses that go into the firewall, that go to the heater core. There's one on each side. So I left those on because those would be very hard to get off. Okay. So what I did was, let's see, this is the first one, right here, and this one was attached to it. This is a cap I put on. I just didn't want the antifreeze to leak out because there's some in the heater core. So I just I put a little bit of silicone and I put this cap on there. This is just a hydraulic cap. It's just for some hydraulic machines that I used to build. And you know, you could probably do other things. I'm sure you could find something. A cap from a bottle might work, or anything. Go to the store. You could probably go to the dollar store or something and find something to, you know, put in there, a plug or something like that. So anyway, that went to here. Okay, and the reason I disconnected it from here is because we got this small hose here. Okay, I don't know where this runs, but it's obviously needed for something, so that's why I disconnected it here. Okay, now this hose goes all the way over here. Okay, let's start again. Let's see if I can get this a little clearer. Okay, so this hose that I put in myself goes all the way over here, and it comes through over here. This is where the cable was for the battery. So I took out this piece which went in there, but I left it in, of course. And I got I guess rubber molding, because you can't just put the hose through there because it's metal and it's very sharp. Okay, so I just got some rubber molding and I put it in there. Let's see if I can get a better shot. Okay, I think you might be able to see it. Lighting's not so great, but that's the rubber molding right there. You could see a little slit in it. Try this way. Okay, so you got to put rubber molding around there, and I'm also going to put some electrical tape right here around this hose, right where this rubber thing is, because, you know, this might be temporary, but maybe not. I don't know, because I don't know if I could fix the problem. But anyway, it's running through there, so it's running around there and it's going through there, and it's going into the reservoir. Okay, right in the bottom of there. On the reservoir there was a small piece of rubber. I would have took that off and put the hose directly to it, but it didn't work out like that. They actually have a hose, a small little hose on there that goes from 1-inch ID to 3/4 ID. So what I had to do is, if you could see, right in between those two clamps, I had to get an extension. It's just plastic, but it's high heat. Make sure it's high heat, because you don't want to put anything in there that's not high heat, because it'll melt. You could also put metal. You could probably get, I think they might call them a bob fitting or something like that there, to repair garden hoses that are 3/4. So you can go to a place and, you know, get a garden hose repair kit. It comes with 2 clamps and the other piece. It's like $4 or something like that. You can also do that. I had them, I couldn't find them, so I had to go to the auto parts store and buy those. It was $4, I think, for the extension, $2 each for each clamp, which was, I thought, kind of a lot, but you know, it's not that much more. I think they're $1.30 usually. The hose, I got 6 feet for $7. It was already on the shelf in a bag. So that wasn't too bad. But anyway, that's where it goes. So I got that running from there to here. Okay, and that takes care of one. Now the other hose, let's see if I can see it. Okay, so that's the one towards the driver's side. Okay, that's the one I disconnected. Now there's the other one. Let me see if I can move this out of the way so I can show you. Okay, so the other one is going all the way over there the same way with a tube. Now if I could have, of course, if I could have disconnected it from down there, that clamp down there, I could have made it easy for myself. I wouldn't have to run that hose. But anyway, let's go over here. So it comes out from down there. I disconnected it and capped it off. You can see it. It's got a white cap on it. So I did that also. I capped that off. You know, it's hard to show you really how it is because there's hardly any light here, but anyway, so that capped off piece down here, that went to the reservoir with this clamp. Okay, so I took that off and then I connected this hose to the other side. This is going to be confusing to you, so I don't know if I should even say it, but anyway, basically you have to just eliminate the two hoses and connect them together, but the sides you take off you connect together. So in other words, you connect the ones that, like this one here, that's on the other side of the firewall, so that goes to there, and that you connect to the reservoir. It's hard to explain because all these hoses are on top of each other, but basically the thing is, heater core is disconnected right now. So hopefully this works. I just got to straighten out that hose on the other side because it's a little kinked. But that's about it. It was pretty easy. It wasn't that bad. I even made my own tool, like I said, and it was still pretty easy. So that one with the cap went right to the one next to it with the clamp. That's where I took it off. So start with that. Take that off, and then you run your tube, you know, over here. You run it all the way to the reservoir. Okay, that goes to the reservoir, which is going here and is going there. Okay, it's coming out the bottom of the reservoir. Alright, so do that. Cap it off. And cap off the other pipe. And hose. It's a pipe and a hose. And that's basically it. Be careful for these plastic pipes in here, because after a while on these Mercedes they get really brittle. Alright, and you don't want to crack anything, because then you have to go through more trouble. Alright, well, that's about it. I'll let you guys know if it worked or not. I guess it will. This is temporary because I just want to see if this is the problem, why I'm not getting good air condition. I know it's definitely the problem with the heat coming out of the bottom of that part of the dashboard. It is very hot. I mean, it is very hot. The air itself will burn your hand. Alright, so I'll let you guys know if this worked or not, or if I have any problems. This way you don't do it for nothing. Alright, talk to you later.